Brothers and sisters in Islam, if the sun wants to play the role of the moon and the moon wants to play the role of the sun, what happens? You have an eclipse. You have an eclipse, either a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. What happens when the eclipse happens? The effect of the sun is weakened, the effect of the moon is weakened, and the stars are nowhere to be seen. In the home, when the father wants to be the mother and the mother wants to be the father, you know what happens? You have an eclipse. It's called the social eclipse. And when this happens, the effect of the father is not felt, the effect of the mother isn't felt, and the children suffer the most.
How y'all doing today? It's Sunday. Y'all ready for church? It's a different kind of church. How y'all doing? Welcome. Give everybody a little time to pop in. I know it's Sunday. Everybody's getting ready for the week. Shout out to Trash Can Waves. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you popping in. Strong. What the funk is in the building? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you popping in. I know the fellas is going to pop out because, y'all like to see a reflection of some of the shameful behaviors that are exhibited out in our society that many people don't like to put a shining light on. But I do, because we need to get back to normalcy of being kind and community and a mother and good people. So society is, dictating a lot of toxicity and repetitive cycles that many of us came up in, and we're not reflecting enough to change these cycles. So, I'm here. Mrs.SheSaid, what he said, she said, Love and Abundance and Harris Tribe Media Group. If you have not subscribed yet, please go on over and do so. You are all appreciated. Again, shame is important for one to feel, because I think it prevents us from making a lot of foolish and bad decisions. Shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. And many of us don't care nowadays. We don't reflect on ourselves. We like to point the finger at everybody else and judge them. So it's time for people to start looking in the mirror and breaking these cycles, because our children are suffering, and I am such an advocate for the kids, just like I am for the black man. As a young girl, a young lady, a grown woman, I am so aware of all of the provisions and privileges that we have here in this society versus many other cultures in different countries. And I think a lot of us women take advantage of it to a degree of shame. Society has caused us to be attention whores as well. So, I'm going to bring a lot of light. I got a little agenda here today. I hope you guys stick with me. And, all of your chat and comments is all welcome. Bring it on. I'm here for it all. So, like, subscribe, share the stream. It's all appreciated. Come on. on, push the button. Push the dang button.
Come on, push the button.
It's going to be short but sweet.
Blow everybody up.
Yeah, blow everybody up.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
You heard what she said.
We're in an amazing time. You know, the modern day is not the best way. So, you know, let's do it. Today, I absolutely want to send some love and some honor and respect to all the men out there. Shout out to all the average men who work really hard to try to do better, to try to break cycles, to try to bring money in, to try to get educated, to try to be good fathers, to try to be good men. Shout out to y'all. I don't think y'all get enough love. And I'm going to send it because I appreciate y'all. And I think as a woman, we need to learn to understand and empathize with you gentlemen's plight. It's different than ours. So shout out to y'all. Y'all are appreciated. There's more average men in this world than it is high value men. And you guys work really hard. Uh-oh, I might be stuck. Look at that face. Hey. But again, you know, I want to shine some light on some love. We're going to do some reflecting. You know, I want you guys to take a look at yourself. You know, we out here all judge each other about our opinions and, you know, ways of life and such. So sometimes you might have to take a look at yourself. And that's why I'm here. So we're going to jump into the first video. One of my favorite people, recent. God rest his soul. Let's bring up Kevin. We're bringing up KS, man, the Godfather.
For where you rank, you'd be very well off to get a guy who's earning $45,000 to $50,000 and go off and have a couple of kids. I mean, this is your life.
Oh my God.
I mean, and so hold on. And this is what I need to. I'm talking about a man who's a solid, decent man. I'm not talking about a bum. I'm talking about an average working man who works hard for his money. Okay. A solid, tax-paying, God-fearing, mother-loving, apple pie, hot dog, baseball mother citizen. And you're chuckling like I'm joking. I don't play when I'm talking about the men I respect and advocate for. And you ladies think just because you're making a little bit more money, you can laugh at these men. That's some bullshit. Especially when you're average. And you are below average. And get off my... No. Take a break because I'm going to calm down. Nope, absolutely not.
Shout out to KS. On many occasions, he's had to put the ladies in their place with their reflection of what an average man is. You know, the statistics of how vast you gentlemen are, how important you gentlemen are. And I think society and the fluence of what they see in things that are not reality on these idiot boxes causes a lot of delusion. Ain't nobody there to kind of knock it out of them or counteract it. Have dialect pertaining to what they're seeing and absorbing. If someone is constantly told men ain't shit, they're going to believe it, even if they've never experienced the ain't shit part. All right. We got to chime in with the bunk. He said, I love the point your husband said about women's intuition. Oh, me too. And it's something we've always talked about. I sat right next to him. You want to know what I think? Oh, I absolutely agree. I think women use a lot of things to their advantage. I speak about, experience, things you grow up learning to pay attention to your surroundings, being very observant of your life, as well as, the people who surround you, and it causes you to be observant, right? So you pay more attention to people and you'll get to read people better. But I think women use it in a negative light. I rarely see it in a positive light. There was a time when, women be like, oh, at first sight, I fell in love. And of course they acquiesced, married, had families and what so. But nowadays, usually a woman's intuition is something negative. I felt he was doing something and, I went to search and investigate and I found it. I found what I was looking for. So in that aspect, I think it's bullshit. I think it's cap. Because, when there's times that you look and you don't find anything, are you making him aware of that? Did you say, I had an intuition that you were doing something and you know what? I looked and I didn't find anything. Women own up to that. I checked your emails, before you came home from work. I didn't find anything. So, I'm gonna reward you with a week's full ahead. We don't have that. I don't see that rewarding for bad intuition. Intuition gone wrong. And I am a woman, and it's something that I've said many a times, but in many positive lights. It's never something that draws me to something negative. So I've always been confused with, okay, your intuition led you to that, but where's the positive in it? And, many women can't really say too much about that. Their career, possibly knowing they were pregnant, but again, possibly knowing you're pregnant, you let somebody do their business. So either way, it's a toss up. So, that's not intuition. That's just knowing you did something to cause something. That was a good question. I actually posted a clip of my response to that. So, check it out. I spoke up on that. And again, I speak on, the positive intuition when there's good things and it's followed through, or you notice that it has happened or transpired. Speak up, say something, give that man accolades and praise for, the good things that you noticed versus everything negative. So I call cap on the ladies. You got to show me a balance of finding intuitive information in a positive way as well as in a negative way. And then we can build on that. But besides that, cap. I hope I answered that for you, brother. Brandon is in the building. How you doing, sir? Hope all is well. Sending love and light to you. All the men out there today, because someone out here loves y'all. Someone out here is willing to advocate for y'all and speak up on some of the foolish and bad behaviors that many of us women exhibit. Because I hear a lot. My husband is a mentor. They being done dirty. They're not being appreciated. There's no empathy. Nobody cares about our men. So my platform is absolutely here to, provide that. Hopefully some women will jump on board and understand where I'm coming from when it comes to shining a light on the good men, because many of us focus so much on the negative, and it's an abundance of good men out there, good average men that y'all are just passing by for your shallow reasons. So, continue to do that. Step out the way for the real wives. Step out the way for the women who want these good men. And take the label that's been given from when I was growing up. Y'all know what it is. Hey, sis, Red Lipstick Vibes is in the building. I hope all is well, sis. Another Sunday. A shame. And I might not stop because it's always something to see. So maybe when the media and, society change with what is so exposed to us to see, I may not have nothing to gripe about. But for now, yeah, it's a lot. Mage is in the building. Hey, Deaf Mage. How you doing, love? That first video was KS, telling a delusional woman who called in about the average men, and how she laughed it off. Like, I don't think they even logically understand, men and employment and how much they make, how much it costs to provide and take care of family, like realistically and logically, to sit down and write it out. Hours worked, like, I don't know if they pay attention to all of that when it comes to the man. We are a modern day women who is very focused on ourselves. We're quite selfish, and if it doesn't apply to you, by all means, let this shit fly. But you know, you've had selfish mothers, you have dealt with selfish grandmothers and aunties and friends and such. We ignore it. We let our women do whatever. We can't say anything. There was a time you couldn't say nothing. When I was coming up, it started being that way. And I saw it so up front in school. Your child is misbehaving. And then here you got the parent yelling at the teacher and the principal and that became a thing. It's more in abundance now. The children are really disrespectful. And we have no control over them. And I assume it's because we have no control over ourselves. We want to bring these young people into the world and don't provide them with no structure and discipline, consequences. It's a lot of work. I get it. But we're lazy. I'm talking to the ladies, kind of lazy. Knowledge and relationships is in the building. How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. I'll be the first to admit it. Gotta check in. Let's see. Oh, man. Did you like the movie The Color Purple? This channel did an awesome breakdown on how it's toxic as hell. I absolutely did. I liked it. I loved it. It didn't create a jaded and dismissive image for me personally, for men. I felt the whole movie through. I understood the dynamics of it, the timing back then, how society was. So that type of man wasn't in my everyday life. I've seen a minimal amount, a small amount of that type of man. So it wasn't the idea, it wasn't the image that was given to me. But it created that for a lot of women. It did. And I'm not going to say a lot of women didn't see that type of man, but one or two does not, it shouldn't affect all of the men as a collective. And that's where I've always tried to be as a young girl, a young woman and a grown woman, with my reflection with women, like, experiencing that, yes, but to put all men in the same box, I've never wanted to accept that. I'm sorry. You can show me who you are. I already see those. I know what those flags are because I saw it, right? So when I start to see certain things with men and those types of aspects, I might pull away. So a lot of it is on us to, be very observant. And I think that's what, the modern day society with technology has done to us. It takes away our being observant, paying attention to. Can you hear me now? See, some things they just don't want me to talk about. Oh, man. What are some red flag movies that if a person likes that you need to be careful about? That's a unique question, man. So if somebody likes certain types of genre of things, I mean, that's a subjective thing because some people may like certain things, and the partner they choose don't like it. So, you have to decide if it's something that you think may cause an elaborate influence. If they're that easily influenced where television can dictate their character, I mean, that's unique. I say Love and Basketball, Color Purple, and any Medea movies. Everybody's perception and perspective is different. Two people can sit and watch the same movie and receive that movie differently. And that's something that, most people don't realize. Like, you can sit and watch the same damn movie and we're not getting the same, we're not receiving it the same way. So, if you deal with someone and they like a lot of alien movies and they're always talking about the aliens are coming, and that's not something you've with, you might want to not deal with that, because the delusion may get worse and deeper later, conspiracy theorists, whatever don't float your boat, you might want to, dive into. And this is why communication is important when you're vetting. You need to know these things because there's going to be times where COVID, you had to be locked up in the house for a long time. So, yeah, that's for each person to decide, if that person is easily influenced or not. Def Mage, what you say? There are many toxic movies. Belly, to name one. So I guess I shouldn't like a man because he likes the movie Belly. My husband should have ran in because my favorite movie was Pretty Woman. Shout out to Julia Roberts. It's crazy. Yeah, it's my favorite movie. Absolutely. So, but it didn't influence me to go be a hooker out on the street. So Red Lipstick Vibes chimed in because all I like is horror gangster movies. Yeah, right? And I like Death, Murder, Kill. I'm just saying SVU was one of my go to bed type shows to watch. So, what the funk chimed in. If a woman is entertained by drama, it's a red flag.
Hello, motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if everything she watches is a type of discussion she wants to have with you to, make you a bad guy. That happens. Women may not even think they're doing it. Monitor what you're watching. You watching something, you watch 3 shows, 3 movies that told you this man is cheating, somebody sneaking, doing something to you. And here you go. Oh, Lord. Your mind is going. My mind is going now. Now I want to snoop. He just got in the shower. Let me go look in his phone real quick. You dummy. Come on. Come on. We do shit like that. Not me per se. I'm just saying I know some of you chicks out there do that shit. Do something about that. Because everybody is not taking care of their stuff. So if it does not apply to you, let it fly. But a lot of you are delusional. Word. Stop causing drama in your own house because you let the idiot box influence you. Speak to a lot of young girls now. Many of them ain't go through much in relationship aspect, being trampled over or, all this other stuff. But they have a lot of opinions negatively. I would assume that you got a lot of that from friends or family because you haven't even been out in the world that long to have that much jadedness. It's amazing. And I'm going to say it, ladies. If you have a repetitiveness for the same type of man, you are the common denominator. You have to look at yourself to some degree. 3 of the same dude, you are the common denominator. Let's go back to 3rd grade. Marcus is in the building. How you doing, brother? I hope all is well. Sending love and light. Trying to shine some light today. Giving all the pleasantries to everybody. You are appreciated. Nightbot is on the job. So, if you put hashtag shame in the chat, Nightbot will drop your YouTube channel so everybody can support one another. This is how we do here. Spread love and a little bit of shame. So we got to get back to a even playing field. Our kids are out of control. It's no joke. Since we don't see it much, I'm here. I like to shine a little light on love given to the men. The double standards that we get. There's a lot of double standards out here. And, we pick and choose what we like and what we don't like. Most people who have privileges aren't aware. They're invisible to them. They're invisible. You don't even know. But, it's something women don't like. We like talking about the double standards. They exist. We didn't make them up, but they do exist, right? I got a question for y'all. Are men allowed to date? Is that something openly women are willing to accept in meeting? And a man says, yeah, I'm dating. Dating a few, Can I take you out? Get your number? How many women are going to say sure? Or are they going to want more elaboration about how many other women are you dating? So I just, I'm asking that. I need to know. I see a lot of stuff going along. It's such a double standard. So I got a video for y'all. I want to show y'all. I think a lot of us women, because of the double standards, we are a little jealous. A lot of things that you guys, it's looked at differently, when you're behaving in a certain manner and women behave in a certain manner. And we like to expose it as far as, ones that don't benefit us. But there's many that benefit us, and we don't like to talk about those. So it's a question for y'all. Let's see this
It's
video.
not that she's a hoe. But here's the thing. No, she's not a hoe. But sometimes women are very quick to label a guy a hoe or a player or he's not serious. So I would never label a woman a hoe for going out with multiple men because women like to say, I'm dating, but men are not allowed to be like, I'm dating. When's the last time you heard a man say, I'm dating several women?
Well, they don't openly
Where?
say it.
In here, in LA? Okay, that's fair. I've never once told a woman, I'm dating other women. I'm trying to figure out which one of you I'm going to choose. But when a woman tells another man, I'm dating other guys, I'm not so quick to take you out on another date. Because let me be clear, dating now has become an event, a weekend. So
It's
when a
also
woman
expensive.
dates multiple men and a guy gets wind of that shit, don't be surprised if he takes a couple steps back.
Don't be surprised. I'm going to call envy for the ladies. I mean, we all jealous of somebody, right? We all jealous of something. I think in that aspect, we're jealous. We're jealous of men because they have more of a standard than we do. I think their standards are a little more solid and solidified versus us.
Hello, motherfucker.
Shame. Damn. I mean, I say that in this aspect. Okay. A woman gets cheated on. Most chances she'll forgive. If it happens again, 3 times a charm. Some stay the long haul. 3 times, most go. A woman cheats on a man one time. 9 times out of 10, he's out the door. 9 times out of 10, he's out the door. Let's be a good man. Now, a man who's been a slaw, I mean, he might be a tit for tat thing, might begin that type of dynamic, but I've noticed over these years, men have way more of a solidified standard when it comes to certain things. And that's women will go into the relationship and say, I've had this happen to me and and I'm not taking this no more and I'm not doing any of that and Y'all talk too much. It's too much. You're giving too much information about what you've already allowed. You're already telling them that you don't have much of a standard. If you did not realize that, I'm putting you on some game. Courting with a man, you're telling him you've had 3 or 4 dudes prior that have treated you this kind of way and, got cheated on me. And okay. Kind of giving them a blueprint of what you already have accepted from men. So don't lead with that. Stop leading with that. You do it for manipulation. Emotional manipulation. You can let me know if I'm wrong, but envy is a motherfucker. Let me tell you, you can do it and I can't. Psh, what? So again, it's our responsibility to be observant as humans, observant within our environment, growing up, paying attention to detail. I got a video for y'all. Let my man tell y'all.
You should not be trying to teach people how to treat you. Instead, what you should be doing is observing how people treat you and allowing that to teach you whether or not they're healthy and they can stay in your life or they gotta go.
Y'all ain't been observing enough to pay attention to people and how they treat you. Roll out. Treat people how you want to be treated. Pay attention to how people treat you. Have a standard. Make sure it's solid. If you don't know about green flags, I did a show. Go check it out. It's green. You can't miss it. So, there's a lot of green flags to look for in characteristics in all people that you want to have in your life. We got a chime in, Deaf Mage. Thank you, love. My ex last year did the same thing he did to me the first time. I should have known better, but you try to give people a chance. Lesson learned. Some people never change. They are who they are. Absolutely. Yep. One time, shame on you. 2 times, shame on me. That's always been a cliche. People are gonna show you who they are by how they treat you. Pay attention. Everybody's intentions for you is not good. Change that for you. Thank you, Deaf Mage. Welcome, Talk That Truth Radio. Shout out to you, brother. Welcome. Hope all is well. First time checking in. Salute to you. Show some love. You guys type hashtag shame in the chat, and Nightbot will add your YouTube stream to the chat so everybody can support one another. Check it out. We advocating today. We shining some light on some shame. I got a question. Oh, let's see. Does your husband have a page too? Absolutely. That's a great question. Yes, he does. We'll drop it in the chat. Thanks for asking. Yeah, you can miss green flags if you're not looking for them. Too busy looking for red flags. Absolutely. Yes. It's something over the years I've always, talked to my sisters about. Because they know all the red flags. Most people know what they don't want. Yes, cool. But do you have any clue of what you do want? What do you want? Character, not shallow shit. Not what he looked like, not what his body build is, If you don't know, got to dive deeper. Because I'm all for going back home and having these conversations with my elders, especially the elder females in the family. Cousins, aunties, like whoever surrounded you, have these conversations. They're hard to have. Why, when y'all was playing cards, all I heard was negativity about men? Talked about this one. You talked about, we remember specific things. Dive into that a little bit. Some of our perception is not our own. We take on other people's shit. Mm-hmm. Our problem is I see all the green flags before the red ones. See all the green flags before the red ones. Oh my goodness. I just want to see the good. Yeah, it's some of us bleeding hearts out there that do want to always see the good in people. And I think, that's why we always say vetting is more than just two people. You got to get around their family, some of the people they grew up with, their environment, their neighborhood, their workspace. It's kind of an investigation. It really is a resume type process. I need to know your skills and abilities with dealing with people, de-escalating yourself. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to be taught? Many of us are not, because we're know-it-alls. You don't know everything. We can't control everything. Salute, brother. Mr. Hall is in the building. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Shame Sunday. Hashtag shame in the chat so Nightbot can add your YouTube channel to the stream. Sis is back in the building. Oh, yeah. Internet's acting up. We shout out to Baltimore. It does that here a little bit. Mm-hmm. Appreciate y'all popping in on me. But I thought what the last gentleman said was very important. We all need to be more observant, and especially with ourselves. Sometimes that constructive criticism is hard, and we're not used to telling one another about ourselves. We're not in that mode. Girl, you shouldn't be acting like that. To the gentleman, it's always been. I still don't see anybody shying away from that. In the middle of the street, a guy will get checked and called out, but a woman, no. Not so much. So, even in family and close friends, we neglect to say things to one another, to avoid hurting somebody's feelings or whatever the case may be. But, some shit needs to be said, especially when it comes to our children and how you treat me. Because some people are not going to tolerate that. And they may speak up on it right away. Many people are not used to that. So, I think that has a lot to do with, self-love, because I'm not going to let you treat me any kind of way, because I'm not out here treating anybody any kind of way, disrespectful. So you move in a kind, genuine, respectful manner to human life. It's that energy is seen and it's reciprocated. I'm not even going to lie. So, let's do better with that. And ladies, go get a hormonal balance panel next time you go to your doctor. If you're going yearly, ask them. It's not something they tell you to get at all. They say, it doesn't happen till you're going through menopause, and that's shameful. So you should know how they're fluctuating, because if you're low in progesterone, it will affect your happy hormone. So days of feeling sad, just this overwhelming emotion of sadness and unhappiness, it can be low progesterone. So, talk to your OB/GYN, and, it ain't nothing but a blood test to get done, just like with a regular panel. Oh, man. Got a couple more things to talk about in here today. I got a question for the ladies. My body, my choice. Do men have the same choice? I don't think they have that. Something that belongs to them is given to us, and they have no choice in what happens to it. You see that logic? Something alive. Let me change that. Something that's alive and living and can live outside of their body for at least 5 days, is given to us, implanted in us, and they absolutely have no choice in what happens to it. Is that something that you empathize with? Do we care? It's a question. Hey, Lady Navoa, how you doing? Loving the picture in there. Just wonder what y'all think about that question. Women, we've always been such strong advocates of many different things, but men not so much. I'm starting to see quite a few sisters out there, and I probably use next Sunday to shine a lot of light on a lot of the sisters I followed recently who are more so the black man's keeper and advocates for men. It's quite a few of us out here, so I'll be shining some light on you ladies next week, so look forward to that. We need more love out here. They need to know they're appreciated. And, a lot of us are willing to, acquiesce to their leadership, and again, men have more standards than us. They'll roll out if you step on them. So, ladies, have some standards and a moral compass, and, hopefully you learn these green flags and you'll find you a match if that's what you're looking for, because everybody's not looking for that. What I got for y'all? I do have that question, right? I got a video pertaining to it. It's a great question. Bam. Yep. Mm-hmm.
A woman cannot have a child unless the man agrees to it.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on.
Listen, so you know how you sign a birth certificate? Mm-hmm. So when a woman gets pregnant, she got to go to whatever part of the government, since they want to be involved so much, and has to get that man to say, hey, I believe this is my biological child. They can do the test or whatever. He signs off. If he doesn't sign off, she can't have the child. Oh, that stops all of that.
How you take her decision out of that, though?
Well, how you take his decision out of that?
What y'all think about that? Their decision is completely taken out of that dynamic. Probably 100% of the time. It's back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, that was unique. It's always asked, and that's definitely a double standard that we are very privileged by. Many of us really believe that men shouldn't have any choice in that manner. It's always, they implanted it. They say it in a more derogatory way, of course. Oh man, we got a question. I have a question. When you say men have more standards because they will leave, I'm confused, because what I've been hearing in these spaces is women will leave and men will stay. That's a good question. I mean that before even marriage, in dating, a man can cheat twice in one relationship and the woman stay. And say for payback, she goes and does it. And he finds out. And there's an uproar and a discussion. Many women will say, well, you did it. He's like, yeah, well, I don't care that I did it. I'm gone. I've seen that dynamic a lot. So when I say that, it's on us to stay. Even one time you chose to stay. Like, to expect something different is like, wishing. You're wishing. There's no guarantee. At least get a man that's good at it and it ain't coming home. You're not finding out. People knocking on your door, trying to expose it. And, so you have all types of dynamics to that. But to know that that's something that you may not be able to, forgive and let go, not hold it over the person's head, not want to retaliate, like these things that you need to know about self. Because you can't tell me how to respond when you do something. You can respond however you want, but you can't tell me how to respond. And I think that's the difference. We come into these spaces, like you said, and we're all, I see the good in them and, this and that. But then when you show me who you are, it's right in my face. I seen it, with all the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, was it something that was solidified? We are not going to do this, because a lot of women put themselves in relationships that weren't decided. It was not decided that we are in this relationship and we are going to be monogamous. It's just like, okay, we dating, we fuck, and we together. We have to be honest, ladies. Like, are we absolutely solidifying this and say we're courting purposefully because I'm looking for longevity, children, husband? We're not doing that. We still be doing it like we in high school. Mm-hmm.
What does she see? Her experience.
Right.
She's seen the men leave or the women leave.
Right. Yeah. What have you seen, sis? Have you seen men, or just from the speaking points? Because, in marriage, men do stay, but just relationships, period. Just growing up, seeing these dynamics. When a man gets cheated on, does he stay? Is that something he goes to his boys and, I got cheated on a couple times and, I stayed, I forgive her, let it be. Slept with my homeboys and, many a times they out of here. So, and of course, I'm not saying everybody, but a large majority. Hey, JP, how you doing, love? How's your spirit? Hope all is well. I'll be catching you in the morning in the clouds. Mage, yes, I personally don't think it's about who has more standards, but if you have been with that person, you're trying to make it work, right? To get past the hurdle, in hopes the outcome is better.
That's exactly why.
Right. That's
women's mindset, right?
Yeah.
Men don't think that bitch cheating,
men don't.
leaving her.
Yeah, men don't move like that, sis. They don't think
That's
like that
mindset,
or feel like that, hoping, something is gonna pass, or it's a little different. And I think we don't like that they're that way, because it's like, I love you, whatever intimacy that you feel so strongly for that person that's keeping you there, it might be an illusion, and we're not. It's unique. She stay and men leave.
So she's
I have inherited that trait, right? So it's true what I'm saying then. That over the years, I just think about before any of this. Let's talk about before the 50s, when women had their independence. If a woman wanted to leave the marriage, you got to go. The children have to stay. The father is the dynamic. You're gonna leave. You're gonna take your happy ass with whatever you came with and roll out. It was never a dynamic where a woman is leaving and she's taking her children in tow. That's not how it went back then. What JB say? I've seen men leave mentally and stay forever physically.
Okay, so they cheating,
right?
They still staying in their relationship because the woman don't leave. She puts
right. She stays. Either way, right? If you don't leave, he's gonna stay. That's right. He's going to keep taking advantage of that situation. And, you ain't going nowhere. So why not? How you doing? Shakur Eccles. Hey, love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Shame Sunday. Talking about a little reflecting. I got to shine some light on some stuff because it's a difference. I think men have a little more standards when it comes to their vetting and their courting process when it comes to women. And we don't. We kind of allow a lot of shit and then blame the man that he manipulated us, or I didn't know no better, and whatever the excuses may be. But men solidify some of that. It's a done deal. And it's not just cheating. It's some things. If they have particular expectations of a woman and you don't live up to that, they rolling out. And this is where I try on my panel to build women up to get to. You have to know what you're willing to get, what you're willing to give in order to get what you want. Because you have a whole shitload of expectations from a man. And don't think that that man has a whole resume of expectations for you. You got to live up to that shit. And most men, if you don't live up to it, they're not courting you. You will not be getting asked the question. And if you don't want that, more power to you. Don't worry about what I'm saying. That means you know that's not all to you, of course. I'm just talking to the people. I was raised in the church environment. Women don't believe in divorce. I mean, you know, it's child, hypocrites. They're the biggest ones. Like, you know, women don't believe in divorce, but they're the statistics show that they are the ones asking for the divorces. So, you know, the majority of the time. Oh man. So people in these spaces shouldn't shame women for leaving then? Hubby said it's not true. Or they shaming people for leaving them.
I mean, because what she's saying is we're saying that in our conversation, you know, women are staying because they have low standards and they don't leave a relationship. But then we sit in these spaces and we shame women for leaving and breaking up their family because they leaving for happiness. Exactly. And leaving because they're not feeling good and because he cheated on the street. And here's the thing. Most women don't want to cheat until they find out you cheated.
Yes.
They love the shit out of you. It is nothing but roses and candy. But the minute they find out you sleep with the girl down the street, here's what they say. Well, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to get me a man too. But it's not me. And it's not in your heart and your soul. Absolutely. You just want to do it because you want to get back.
Because you can do it. Right.
Jealousy.
And I was there absolutely jealous of that. Like the second year we was together, we built on that. The second year, we're talking 23 years ago, building on this type of stuff. Right, because talking about the dynamic of a man choosing to be monogamous, you know, we're not totally against, you know, polygamy type unions and such that work. So it's not something that we shied away from conversating about. So just having those conversations, and we would make these talks about, you know, the cheating aspect and all of that, you know, and I'm not going to front, you know, from young, I'm looking for purposeful courting. So I want one person for the rest of my life. But in these conversations, you know, and him expressing, you know, the difference between men and women and this dynamic of cheating or just having others, my mindset was just that. If it's okay for you, then it's okay for me. But that's not something I want. I don't want to have an abundance of sexual partners and, you know, frivolous, promiscuous, you know, being promiscuous or whatever the case may be. I don't want that. But with the one person that I do want to be with and I love, and he expresses this, it's like, well, if you get to do it, then I want to do it too. But that's not something I really want. You understand the dynamic of that? Try and be transparent. Because it's not something I want to do. But if you get to do it, I get to. Do you want an extra wife? We got to get an extra husband. You know what I mean? So, but is that really what I want? No. All right, definitely. But a standard is personal, right? Everyone's standards are different. I don't know. These conversations get weird and difficult for me. Yeah. Everybody's standards are different. They just kind of are more solid with theirs. We sway and dangle with our shit at times. We can say, yeah, no, I'm not going to deal with this and I'm not going to deal with that. And then when it happens, you deal with it. So are we really solid in our standards when someone can step on them and disrespect them and, you know, so it might be off, but I see it a lot. A lot of men won't stay when it comes to that. And I'm talking before the marriage. But again, you know, we need to get back to that community of courting. We was having a conversation with one of our elder friends who visited us this weekend. And even him thinking he can court a woman now to be his wife by himself. Nah, nigga, we might need to meet her. Because you're going off for some feeling and just, you know, the moment, even because you're older. You know, we admire you. We pay attention to you. We love you. We have your best interests at heart. So we're going to see through some of the things that you may not be looking for. Even for an elder person. So just having that discussion recently, it's amazing to think we can just do everything on our own. We think we know it all, and then we get caught up and don't know what to do. Don't have nobody to talk to and build about it. And then we stay in situations that we shouldn't. It's okay. Hopefully the next one, you don't repeat the same thing. Stand on your square.
Do you agree with this statement?
Relationships are hard. Yes. That's why it's called work. That's why the elders, and you ask them, what's the key to marriage? Just work. Got to do the work. Got to do the work. Yes, they are.
How many people we sit in these spaces and they say,
relationships is easy.
Don't make it hard. Like, this shit is easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not at all. And it is work. And sometimes, yeah. Do y'all think the relationships are easy? Yeah, that's a really good question, Mage. As many will say it's not. If you mesh well, it should just flow and all of this. Everybody's equally yoked and all of that. Y'all kind of living in fantasy. Hey, Jenny. How you doing, love? Hope the family is well. It is work, and it's an everyday job that you don't get paid for monetarily. The reward is in gratitude and appreciation. Someone willing to understand, someone willing to teach. It's work until the end, and that's the part, because you get 10 years in and nobody wants to work no more, and then everybody wants to blame the other one for not doing the work. Because you know what I want and you know what I need and you're not giving it to me. Well, you know what I want and you know what I need and you're not giving it to me. Selfish bastards. That's all it is. We all get into this childish mode of being selfish, and now we going tit for tat like we brother and sister. If it don't fit, don't force it. Many of us do that too. Don't fit. You're constantly bickering and can't get on the same page at all in conversation. Can't even say nothing. You don't even like the way he breathes. Like, come on. It's not easy. Thanks for the conversation. It's just a reflection I've been dealing with. I'm so used to giving people chances. I need an icebox where my heart used to be. Yes, I understand. And you wouldn't believe how many sisters I know like that, Mage. We're givers. Can we honestly agree that we are kind of naturally nurturers? We want to give. We want to give, and we got to start to learn how to give to the right man. We're overlooking them. The average man, you're overlooking them. 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 inches.
I don't think y'all got the right mindset coming into it. Look at the comment. It's just like, would I have this mindset, Mrs. Harris? My mindset to everybody is like, prove it, nigga. I don't believe you, nigga. You don't measure up, nigga. Now you gotta prove otherwise.
Got to prove otherwise, absolutely.
To gain your chips, and
right.
Like, Mage is a gamer. So
yes.
People need to game. They need to earn their game tokens.
Got to game. You got to earn my tokens. Yes.
You against the clock. Everything you say is a lie until you prove it's true. And now I can fuck with you because you have shown me and went through the mountains that I put up, all of the hurdles. Like, you is jumping over all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, this nigga deserve a little bit of consideration.
A little bit.
The proof's in the pudding, but when you think everybody telling the truth, everybody 100%, everybody honest is you, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
It's amazing. Yes. Hey, Jenny chimed in. She said, after you're getting over competing with your spouse, you appreciate all that they encompass. Not all can get past the first hurdle. Right. And I think that's the understanding that, early married people, I think any level of getting married, because there's no age limit. People are getting married in 40s for the first time. So should have other successful or flourishing married people to mentor with, because that is the key. Getting over that first hurdle is something. Anytime I got upset, and you men, and I appreciate that, the ones who will say, listen, give me a minute. I need to go outdoor, you know what I mean? So we can separate ourselves to de-escalate this situation because it's getting out of control. You gentlemen are really appreciated. So having my husband be able to do that every time, I felt like, oh my God, he's not gonna want me no more. Like, and it had nothing to do, I'm confident as hell. That had nothing to do with anything. I just didn't want to disappoint him to the point where he's going to want a divorce. I don't want that. So I had to learn to pick my battles, for one, and it really weren't many battles. And it was usually some emotional thing that I was lacking for self. Again, we are hormonal creatures. Every 5 years I was having another baby. So my imbalance of hormones was crazy, and not being aware of it and not going to get it checked. I was left alone and didn't have my elder women around me to build with that. They were not women who paid attention to any of that. Many of them didn't know anything about menopause. It's like, because out of them generations, miseducation, no information at all. They didn't even advocate for it, as women to get it. It's just like, don't get pregnant and birth control. Like anything other than that, we didn't get. So shame on y'all for that. But it caused me to reflect and knew that I had to do my own research and find out what was going on because I didn't like the way I was feeling. And the man is doing everything in his power, duty, responsibility, honor, all of that. And I'm unhappy what's going on, and it wasn't all the time. I didn't stay for long stints of time, but I didn't want to live in that. And to come to find out, hormone imbalance. What Mage says. My next man, sending him to y'all. That's what when you left out, that's what I was telling them. We just had our friend here, and he's our elder, and talking about looking for a wife, and that you can't pick that on your own. You haven't yet. We love you. We want the best for you. And I think that creates a dynamic for that person to see that people care about you. There's people around this person that's going to hold you responsible if you do not have that person's best interest at heart. So it's always best for family, friends, the people you care about. You don't want them to go meet your shitty, people you don't get along with. But if you have people you trust and you care about, they're going to read through the person, whether you see it or not. Hopefully you're listening. Mr. Hall, welcome. Let me see. Got a question. The thing is, what are your qualifications for me to prove to you? Not you specifically. Absolutely. Yes. Right. And do they have them? I don't know if that's something that they sit down and write, Again, I think that's something for TV. With the microphone, because they want to hear what you got to say too, mister.
When women were she works in the shelter. She donates. You know what I mean? The type of woman that men were interested in, just generous.
Right. Natural nurturers, right. I mean, times are different now. Yeah, it's unique. But you got to have those qualifications. You got to know what you want. You got to know what you're looking for and be able to write it down. It's not a bad idea. Make a list of characteristics, not shallow things, what he looks like, what his car looks like, That's why y'all missing out on good men. All right. I have a video, because women, we hear it a lot, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because if you don't need a man, that's great. Because there's a lot of women that do. Move the fuck out the way for those women, and we be straight. Y'all keep singing those tales. It's all good. I don't need a man. Oh, wait, no, I got, are you your habits? Nah, we don't want that.
You have to understand, a woman bring life. Y'all don't.
How do you get that life?
Go in the hospital and get a sperm donor. You don't need a man.
You still need a man.
You need a physical woman to bear a child for you.
And y'all need physical sperm.
Where does it come from?
That's for right now. Give it to
From a man.
If a physical man didn't go to that hospital, it would not be there.
But you need a physical woman to have
somebody
a
pushing you.
child, bro.
That's somebody
That's
pushing
why
you.
gay men get surrogates.
No, you
they
don't
get
carry
physical
a kid.
women.
Women like you always try to eliminate men, and that's where the issue is. You just said you don't need a man.
You don't.
It was
You don't.
You don't want him.
You want the
You want the potion
Yeah.
that lives inside of his
That's it.
testicles.
Thank you. What y'all think of that? I don't need a man. I can get sperm from the hospital. Oh my God. I think the delusion lies in lack of education. You know, an egg is just it's just a cell. It's not a living thing. It's an incubator. It's blank until something alive breaks through it. Isn't that amazing? Do you know that sperm is alive? It's alive for 5 days outside the body. It is a living thing. We don't have that. So we need them. They don't need us. Science has been able to mimic a woman's womb. They may not be able to implant and, transfer, I'm talking donate a uterus. Right. But they can absolutely mimic the womb like an incubator station. Right. So if they have a bank full of sperms that's you've been donating for almost 100 years, one ejaculation has billions of living creatures in it. I'm just saying. Let's see, Mage, I hate these conversations. Women and men need each other. If men didn't need a woman, God wouldn't have created us to help him. Yeah. Yeah. They got them living seeds though, sis. I just want sisters to reflect on that, not to say we're null and void and we're not needed and necessary, but if science can create wombs and have children come full gestation without it being inside a woman's body, in another 10, 15 years, they may not need us. So this mindset that we have is amazing. Do you know how magical it is for a sperm to live outside a man's body for 5 days? Like, I don't understand how you don't understand that and how magical our wombs are. We go watch my damn show on vaginal health and the reproductive system. I think we wouldn't be walking around with as much delusion as we do if we were more educated about certain things, especially about our bodies, ladies and gentlemen. Because we make up a lot of shit. Right. I mean, and they've been donating for many, many years. They're not using it all. We do. But science is going to dictate that we don't. Science is amazing. They're doing some things now. So we keep up with this attitude. They're going to utilize them services. That's all I'm saying. Sodom and Gomorrah. God said a lot. People don't listen, sis. God said for both men and women to go and be fruitful. Science is trying to mimic God. Yeah, we are too. Look how many people go on to change their body. And then when your child grow up and say, you know what, mommy, my butt, my lips, my cheekbones I don't look like you. And then when they look at their pictures from their childhood, they're gonna be like, wait, that don't look like you. You look like an alien or whatever, a Muppet. You call it Catwoman.
So if God created Jane, that was a girl, but now she identifies as a boy, and her name is X.
We going.
That they're not trying to play God too?
Everybody's trying to play God. Because we can strip things out of DNA. Listen, it's a lot. But I got another video. I'm going to show you. It's because science is going where it might come to a point where men say that. Because I don't hear men say that as much as women do. Women say, I don't need a man. And not too many men say, I don't need a woman unless they're homosexual. I mean, y'all can. Hey, Mr. Best. How you doing, brother? It's Sunday. Sending you some love. Hope all is well. Yes. Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong. I hear women say I don't need a man. Men don't say they don't need a woman. I don't hear that. So it might come a time where they don't need your ass. Then what you gonna do? I'm gonna show you a video just to put some emphasis on it. 9.
Welcome to the future of birth.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility, powered entirely by renewable energy. Ectolife allows infertile couple to conceive a baby and become the true biological parents of their own offspring. It's a perfect solution for women who had their uterus surgically removed due to cancer or other complications. With Ectolife, premature births and C-sections will be a thing of the past. Ectolife is designed to help countries that are suffering from severe population decline, including Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, and many others. The facility features 75 highly equipped labs. Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. Every pod is designed to replicate the exact conditions that exist inside the mother's uterus.
What in the world? Science. Encourage your children to really get into science and STEM more. You know, it's a lot of little things on Amazon you can buy, kits and such for all kinds of stuff. So, you know, get their minds going to be interested in this type of stuff, just to have an awareness. You know, to have a scientist in the family would be a good thing, you know. So let's try to influence them in that manner to be more creative and take the idiot box out their hands. But what y'all thought about that? It's real. When they make these movies, you know, just think it's definitely being contemplated for the future. It really is. We do have cars that drive themselves. They're not flying, but they do drive themselves. Self-parking cars, like for real. So, you know, don't think for 1 second that these things are not going to be implemented later. We're not taking care of our planet. There is an increase in it's depopulation. Everything is, you know, nobody's reproducing as much as they used to. And it has to do with the things we are ingesting in our body and, you know, the environment changing and, you know, it's amazing. Neither one. Yeah. So imagine 400 pods in one storage space, and a man has, you know, billions to millions of sperm in one ejaculation. So one man can populate one storage facility, you know, with his DNA. Yeah. It's amazing. Gonna smell like plague. Just imagine.
Be wrong for that, baby.
And soon it may be a reality. You know, because we got so many distractions. They don't want you to know what's happening, but it's happening. You will. Amazon drop them off. You ain't hear about Dollar Man? Amazon will drop you off a man. You want to call for everything. That's what women call Amazon and put my order in. 666. Crazy.
All right. I think I'm ready for you. Hey, Mrs.
Hey, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Mr. is in the building. Joining the conversation.
What up, y'all? Hope y'all can hear me.
Yes. Let us know in the chat if you can hear Mr. He said on the 1s and 2s.
This is a great conversation that you're having so far.
Thank you.
I like it. The babies is smelling like plastic and tech. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, you better unplug your child from the matrix and bring it home.
But we got flying cars now.
It's just not available in the public. I can believe that. That's why they shut them planes down that time, right? It was shut down for a day or two. They said, we're going to try this out without them knowing.
Indeed.
Okay.
I want you in the chat to think about a scenario. If it was a scenario where all the men on Earth were wiped away, like one of those sci-fi shows that you watch.
Yes. Ooh.
How long do you think women would be able to sustain the Earth without men there? How long would you guys survive? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all in harmony? This is all going to be a utopia.
Oh, man.
Or
Oh, man.
what does that look like to you guys in the chat? What does it look like to you, Mrs.?
Me, I would say it would be some groups that will be able to, survive. The generations will die off after the youngest because they won't be able to repopulate. You can't repopulate with animal semen. So yeah, just one generation of what? So 30, 40 years. And then yeah, after that it would be over because there's
40
no
years.
Yeah.
Jenny said 2 days. Okay. Jenny.
I mean, it's some women that are equipped with knowing the resources of the earth, and know that they got to work hard. But again, they're only one person. They're only one generation. They won't be able to reproduce more. So when they're gone, whatever they was able to create and build, if nobody comes behind them and creates and builds something else, then
Understandable.
Understandable. Wow. That's a question right
that's
there.
Not something she would think about. Absolutely
Right.
understandable.
Yes.
Not the most idealistic thought, but
Yeah.
the only reason is, again, I'm that person that think about Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't think about just the grandiose days. I'm thinking about who's running the power grids, who's running the sewer system, who's running the filtration system.
Okay.
You ladies are going to be able to keep pace of that for 40 years.
No, we would have to go back to living on the earth.
And again, this is what men are talking about when they say men don't really need women. We absolutely adore y'all. And the smart men absolutely know we need women. Like Intellectual Soapbox said, people need people. Men need women, women need men. Like you said as well, Death Mage. But at the same time, if you take all the women away from the world, the men are still running the sewers. We still building the bridges. We still making the food. We still running the electricity. We pretty good.
The main
we ain't having
things,
no
yes.
sex. We might all turn into homos, but we're pretty good. We're still doing everything we've been doing. Y'all don't do a lot of stuff. Y'all don't go down in the coal mines and dig for coal. Y'all don't build the bridges all the way up in the
dams,
skyscrapers.
the water dams.
Men do that. So if y'all was all gone, we would still be eating lovely. If we was gone in a year, y'all be fighting, worrying about how y'all gonna catch food. Who's gonna be the crab fisherman?
We'd have to learn a lot.
Absolutely,
especially
and
on
y'all
our
gonna
own.
lose a lot of women. It's gonna be a lot of fights, a lot of discourse, and it's not gonna be as easy as y'all think with men not around. But again, we just might not be able to fuck. But we still gonna be doing the same shit, playing basketball, building cars, driving cars, going to the fast food restaurant. Y'all might have a little bit more of a problem than us, and that's the reality y'all don't want to see
or accept.
It's just realistic thinking. Y'all can't climb these trees and do all the shit that we do. Get on the electric poles to see how many girls get zapped. Playing with that electricity, and we're not saying it to be mean. It's just what the world is. We built this world that y'all live in to think that it's so comfy and cozy because we built it like that.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, as far as equality, a lot of these industries opened up, some of the workforce for the women, and they're not going in droves. It's not like they're all going out in this engineering, in these hard jobs. They're not. Where's the equality in that? Where are the people doing that? The women doing that? They're not. Not in a large majority. Not at all. You can show me where they are, show me. But the percentages is really small. We're talking 2 to 5% doing out there. And I ain't even gonna front, they do a lot of road work and stuff out here. And when I do see the ladies, they are the cone women, they are the flaggers, they are not with the jackhammer, they're not doing any of that. They are just chilling. Most of them be sitting on the side of the thing in the car with their phone. And I mean, it's real. So, for the ladies that are out there with the jackhammer and shit and on them poles fixing the lights, shout out to y'all, but it's a very, very small percentage. Men, they dominate that field. They dominate a lot of the hard-working fields. Physical hard work. Death Mage. Hey, love. I just think the conversation brings up who is better. It makes people think with a competitive mindset, and I'm not trying to compete, so I don't care to think that way. Yeah, I mean, and women would usually see it that way. I just want them to see the difference. I don't think women understand the grand amount of paved way the men have made. I don't think we give them enough respect and honor genuinely as human beings for the hard work and the world that they created here, whether we like it or not. We have roads, we have train, underground shit, like all this stuff has been built by them. So to just, keep having this, like they're beneath us type of mentality is shameful.
Think about it. Like
not
this.
you per se, but a lot of women behave this way. We have no damn respect for men. And I don't advocate for that.
Absolutely.
There's so much honor in them. They have built so much, and all we throw up in is in the air is we got a womb. But it ain't a lot of good mothers out here. So I don't think we need to keep throwing that up in the air. All this self-proclamation, not you, my love, of course, but we know damn well it's not a lot of good women being mothers out here. And they make the conscious choice to do it and they shit all on it. There's no honor. They're not teaching them shit. They mad at the school when the child get all the way through the 12th grade and they can't read on a second grade level. So, when we gonna talk about that? I never want to make it seem like it's a competition. I want to cause a reflection of the good that I see.
I mean,
and I gotta advocate.
Mrs. If we on a team together, right? Me and you, we play on the basketball team, and you the best player on the team, right? And you get sick. Nikki is sick. She got to stay home. She's the best player on our team. We can still lace up. We still gonna get out there and put 5 people out there, and we still gonna play. The coach is still gonna coach us,
right?
But we ain't gonna do the same. We ain't gonna do as good as we would do with the best player
on the team,
on the floor with us. And again, if we can't get women to acknowledge that, goddamn, at least y'all are the best player on the team. And we got Mage that's saying, I don't want to acknowledge that Nikki's the best player. I know she is. But I don't want to acknowledge it because it just makes everybody feel inadequate. But goddamn it, they are inadequate. If you are jealous or upset or don't feel good that Nikki's the best player on the team, here's what you could do. Practice. You could bust Nikki ass every night in practice and say, Nikki's no longer the best player on this team, coach, because I am. But women don't want to do that. They just want us to feel bad because we pointing out that we the best player on the team, although we did all the practicing. We make all the baskets. Right. And we help the team win. So, I get what you're saying. You don't want to make somebody feel bad or make it like it's a competition, but there's roles that we play in this world. There's a hierarchy of life. And because you guys fall under us, you're upset. And we apologize that you fall under us, but we fall under white men. And we don't see nobody apologizing to us because we fall under white men in the hierarchy. We just got to eat it.
And it's the idea. I mean, my husband has never made me feel beneath him. You know what I mean? It's the idea, the feeling. Is it a reality? Absolutely not. Because he will always put me first. He's first, but he will always put me first. If shit gets hot, we got to climb over something. He's making sure I'm getting up there first. Okay? Jumping over the river first. It's just how it is. And I just think we don't, I want to shine light on good men. I want to bring that visual because most of the women I speak to, the spaces that we're in, most of the women seem very jaded. Everybody's been hurt to the grandest extreme. And, I have no room for any type of lack thereof. The man has to pretty much be freaking perfect, but you're not perfect. We are not perfect. So I'm always here on Sunday just trying to advocate and show a reflection of what they do. It's a lie. We got the new era Detroit brothers policing their communities. We got the prison doctor out here going from city to city, planing it, training it, trooping it to families who need his help. The prison doctor, he's coming to see kids, parents who need help because they can't get their children in order. He's coming to your house. He's making an impact. Israelites in New York City pulling up. So our men are out here doing great things. They are trying to advocate for us. We're not paying attention to it. It's not shined a light on. We're not looking for it. We want to live in the misery of being jaded and somebody did something to us. Word. The world class is in the building. Hey, love. Notorious Ruthless Media is in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Everybody, y'all drop that hashtag shame in the chat So Nightbot can add your YouTube channel and we can all support each other. I told my mom, why would a man want to be with a woman who don't need him? At least act like you need him. Ooh, put on the act, camouflage. I need you, baby. I need you. And I think just hearing that, I may have said that to Mr. He said in the beginnings of our relationship, but never in a way of screaming at him like I don't need you. It's like just I want you. I want you versus me needing you. I want you, but me not understanding still what that meant. But never was one of them women to say, I don't need you. No. I absolutely need you. But well, we actually unpacked the lyrics of A Woman's Worth, which is a much better version of the roles set Thursday.
It's actually
but he's still putting, right, because you're putting, right.
First, but we know who is first. So if we put you, I am
and
that.
If
And absolutely right.
Jaheim, a lot of them music producers kind of messed it up. Babyface is the king, man. I love him to death. But 60s, 70s, 80s, it was kind of fair. The music was a little fair. You had to love it.
Babyface is on the clock.
Babyface.
Yo, see Babyface. Tell him
Y'all was whipped. That was a thing. That girl got you whipped. As soon as the guy, she pull up, here he come. Man, you whipped, man. You whipped. Def made me. She said, I'm going to send you a video you must watch and react. My mom and I had a discussion on it. Girl, it was crazy. Okay. Yes. Send it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We can do that. Yep. You send it to me. We can react together on that if you want. You don't have to cam up if you don't want to. It's all good. But we can do that. Yes. What Jenny say? Everybody's I got another video. Did you eat today? I did. Yeah, I know. And I'm telling them I fed them. I went in there and, gave him a hashtag of love. So he got some nourishment today. I talked to him before we came on. See, remember what you said. Right. That's the bot for us. Again, ladies, we got to research ourselves and what's going on with us hormonally. And it's something that us elder women should teach our younger women, even as early as 20, 19, if they're having painful, horrible, non-consistent, missing menstrual cycles. It's a blood work panel. LSH, get your hormonal blood work panel checked and see, what's going on. Because if those things are fluctuating, erratic, low, high, it will affect you, and it will affect you psychologically and not just physically. Weight gain, irritability, headache, everything. So, do your research. The more you know about your body, the better you'll feel, because you'll know more. I got a video for y'all. Oh, wrong one. Unhappy feelings.
Let's read it. I don't know if it's postpartum depression or what the case may be, but lately I think about my marriage and it makes me sad. At times I'm genuinely not happy, and it's not just about the marriage. I also have been distant from my friends as well. I love my husband with all my heart, and I feel that he loves me as well, but I don't think I'm in love with him anymore. I just feel exhausted and overwhelmed, and I don't feel myself anymore. I'm not motivated to even clean my house, and I only take care of my little humans in my life because they depend on me. I've gained so much weight. I'm 60 pounds heavier than I was before getting pregnant, and I'm 35 pounds heavier than I was when I gave birth. I don't feel good about myself, and even though my husband doesn't mention anything about my weight or the house not being cleaned or anything like that, I feel like I'm slowly losing myself and I can't gain control. I don't know what to do about it though. On a scale from 1 to 10, how often do you feel like you're a burden for wanting to talk about your problems? She selected 10. Do you want the comment section turned on for your story when posted? She selected yes. Did telling your story help you feel heard? She selected yes.
All right. What happens when progesterone is high? Progesterone levels begin to rise after ovulation through the end of the menstrual cycle. So pay attention to your body. Symptoms of high progesterone are similar to premenstrual syndromes and can include, or I can't pause it. Play that again for me. Okay. Yeah. But it's a lot of effects. Low progesterone it will definitely simulate sadness and being unhappy. So if your progesterone is low, you might want to seek some help. There's creams. I wouldn't suggest pills, but there's cream, and you can take that. But being aware is the first step, because we can blame and attribute unhappiness to so many other things. So, I just want you guys to be aware. I was going through it and didn't know. And I didn't want to blame my family and just, all of the duties and responsibilities that I had on my plate, because everybody has theirs. Everybody has theirs. So being aware of where those feelings were coming from, because nobody was doing anything to me to make me feel that way. And sometimes from things from childhood that you may have thought you healed from, things surface, but hormonal imbalance I would say, is key. So it's definitely something to consider going to get blood work done for. So, if it's high, these are the symptoms that can happen, and they simulate premenstrual syndromes, and it can include anxiety and agitation, bloating, breast swelling and tenderness, depression, fatigue, and weight gain. What happens when progesterone is low? It can cause irregular periods and short cycles. But sometimes symptoms like premenstrual spotting may appear. Other symptoms may include mood changes, sleep disturbances, anxiety, and depression. Progesterone affects the regulation of fluid levels in the body. So having that low, you can be low in your fluids. So it's like a car. We have to keep it well maintained. So, pay more attention to yourself, and don't hesitate to ask your OBGYN, because they will not recommend it. You can go in there crying and with all kinds of symptoms, and they will not recommend it. So even at your own PCP, you don't have to do it at your OB. Just request for the hormonal blood panel to be checked, and find out what specific times will be best to do it. Because again, morning time, before your period, a couple of days after your period, all of it fluctuates so much that it will show up differently. So, pay attention to your body. That's pretty much where I was going with that, because many women are unhappy, and it could be because your hormonal balance is off. So good luck to everybody with that, because it's no joke. Control. Progesterone is responsible for regulating several body functions. It plays an important role in brain function, and it is often called the feel-good hormone because it's mood enhancing and antidepressant. It has antidepressant effects. Our bodies are quite unique. The things that they try to flush down us at these pharmaceuticals, we actually have in our body. But we got to feed it right for it to behave properly. And it's hard to know if we're not going to get those panels checked. So do it. Hopefully you got some insurance. If not, try to get you that Medicaid, and, keep an eye on your health, because it's important. The kids, I came across this elder woman, and she was so passionate about the children. And I feel her, and I see that being me 30 years screaming, because I feel like that when I'm here, when I'm talking about these kids and how we need to change our behavior in order for them to change their behavior. I watched years of Nanny 911, Super Nanny, and just, reflecting on all the tactics and just watching the conversations and the need for them to hold the parents more accountable to some degree than the children. The children are going to change their behavior if the parents change their behavior. So that was always a reflection that I got from watching Super Nanny and Nanny 911. So shout out to Joe and all the nannies on there that was going to them homes to regulate and help the parents, because, none of us don't know. None of us have a blueprint of the exact science on how to manage our homes and our children. They're all so different, And tactics that may have worked with the first one may not work with the second. Stair-stepper kids is it's no joke. So, I would suggest for young parents, if you don't have a blueprint, go watch some of those shows. It can teach you some great strategies and coping mechanisms when it comes to the kids, because their lives are more important than ours, especially if we choose to bring them to life. So please keep that in mind. Let me get my lady up here so she can scream at y'all for a minute instead of me. Attention, attention, attention.
And what I'm trying to explain to you, ladies and gentlemen, is the real world that our children live in, not the ideal one that we want them to live in, not this wonderful world that we pray that will come here one day, but the real world that they have to live in. You want to know why they're acting so crazy? You want to know why they're doing the things that they're doing? Because we have not prepared them to live in this real world. We have sent them through 12 years of school teaching them this dumb stuff that doesn't work, and when they go out and try to apply it and get killed for it, we are not there to help them through. We are not there. We fade away on them. Somewhere around about 9th grade, we start talking about, I can't control him. I can't do nothing with him. Get out of my house if you don't do what I tell you to do. And we abandon them to the mean streets and then cry because they get murdered.
Preach. We give up on them. We stop paying attention. We stop wanting to teach and guide. If it don't apply, let it fly. But it's many. They lost. They get to a certain age, like she said, around 9th grade. We think, they got it. They know it all. And, they don't need us no more, whether we're working and, just life takes a hold. We really have to control ourselves to pull back and continue to pay attention, ask questions, and see where they are as human beings, because they're going to be adults real quick. From ninth grade to senior, it happens so quickly, right? Because when they're babies, we don't think they're ever going to grow up. We get so tired and drained. By the time they're 10, it's like 12, 9th grade. Absolutely. Yep. Especially if we were coming up and making bad and foolish decisions. It's kind of hard to, check your children, right? When you've done it, versus creating a dynamic of them not repeating the cycles that you and your family exhibited. Yeah, that makes me tear up, because children are our future. They are. And we're doing them such an injustice by pawning them off to the school, without following up and following through after. They take a large percentage of time from our relationships with our children. So we have to be intentional, and you have to be purposeful. You have to pay attention to them, see the things they like, encourage it, encourage creativity, encourage kindness, sharing. Because as you see, it's something that's we encourage, and then we get to a certain age and we stop encouraging it. And look, we become adults and we're selfish bastards. Don't want to share nothing.
Hello, motherfucker.
That goes back to the men, can't be dating out here. Man, being honest about dating, like it should be normal. When you gentlemen are young, in your younger years, it should be normal and it should be okay. When a woman hears, I'm dating a couple young ladies right now, and you should know it's a damn competition. He's trying to find him a wife. It's no joke. They're looking at your resume, whether you come with it or not. So, it's crazy because people complain about Gen Z and millennials, but who raised them, right? The generations before. Everybody gets some blame in the shit. Everybody gets some blame in the shit. Hey, Lucky. She's so lucky. Is in the building. How you doing, love? Good to see you popping in. So, I'm gonna show you the effects of bad parenting. I got a video for y'all. This is bad parenting 101.
Tired of arguing with a 6-year-old.
You really don't want to wear that? It look ugly. Well, that's too fucking bad. How about that? You're wearing it. And you can get your ass whooped. Fix it before I beat your ass. Look at you. And you want to talk shit.
Look at you.
There.
You always got that robo.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about me.
Get the fuck out.
Who was the 6-year-old? Ooh, great minds think alike. Who was the 6-year-old? We teach our children to lie. She was being honest. I don't like it. And mama cussed. Like, I was not expecting that when I saw that. I could see a little pushback, but that, wow. Mothers, don't behave this way. If you are behaving this way with your child, your daughter, your son, please get some control over yourself. It's shameful. All she said was she didn't like the shirt. You can see it all in the attitude. We know our kids have attitudes. They do. But you don't curse them out like they grown women. Save that energy for them bitches out in the street. It's amazing. But you see the room, the carpet, all the bedspread, probably got a shitload of toys. Mama's behavior is unacceptable.
You know who the daddy of that chop-footed baby is? Huh? You do? Well, who is it? Speak up!
And even if the daddy's there, some women still behave this way with a father there. Controlling as hell, mean as hell. If you a mean ass mother like that, go get some help and get some therapy. And if that was for clicks and likes, then damn, we kind of screwed out here, y'all. And it wasn't. That baby was serious. I don't like this shirt. She could have said, okay, well, which shirt do you want to wear? Why is that so hard? We create this dynamic of us women not being able to trust each other. If that's the dynamic of mother and daughter, I wouldn't trust none of you bitches either. If my mother behaved that way with me. Are you crazy?
Need to be right.
Gentlemen.
In the mouth, woman.
Gentlemen, save your children. I mean, whatever recordings you can do, because I know it's a fight. I know about the fight in the court and all that, but the more you have, the better your case will be. That right there, that was horrible. And that's just basic dialect, getting dressed to go somewhere or whatever the case may be. I tell you, I don't be liking to put the babies up here. So, I mean, I have so much in my save, that's just one. So it happens. And, sending love and light to you sisters who had to experience a mother like that. Because I know a few. I don't care if it was drugs, crack, alcohol, some sorry ass man who made her that way, whatever. But it's wrong. What y'all think about that? I know you don't like it. I see y'all in the comments. I know you ain't like that. But you got to get a view. Because just because you have a womb and you're capable of bringing life doesn't make you a good mother. It really doesn't. Y'all getting bad out here. Y'all care more about hair than y'all care about your damn kids. I'm just saying. Still having these discussions about these weaves and this wigs shit. Do what you want. Do as you please. But be mindful. Because your children are watching you. They're modeling you. They are watching that you don't like yourself. I don't care how much you say in the mirror around them that you love yourself and you think you the shit and you're all that. You know, they paying attention that you don't like your hair that's coming out their head, coming out your head. They're smarter than you think. And it's going to create a dynamic with them, thinking that they're not enough and they want to mimic it. We in Baltimore City, these kids be having weaves and wigs as young as 8, 7. I'm not talking about braids, extensions. This is something weird. That's normal. That's normal stuff. I'm talking about weaves and wigs with all the slick up into the ponytail with this tight, with hair down to their butt. What's going on, y'all? It's a shame. Sister Lucky, which said, I think it's a power struggle. A lot of these women are bullies. They either want a man, they can bully, or a child. Or both. Some women bully whole households. And a man is used to it because maybe his mama was like that. Amen to that. Y'all know I appreciate y'all coming in. Let me show y'all what they got out for y'all now. This is what our women are investing their money in. These right here.
Alright, babe. Look at Zaya. She's so pretty. And then, alright, boom. So y'all been asking, do we have a 3 bundle deals in the vending machine? And we do. They're down here. Okay. So product 53, 54, and 55. Okay, so let's go to it on the machine. Okay. Alright, so boom. 16, 18, 20, that's 195. 22, 24, 26, that's 260. And for the long hair girls, 28, 30, and 32. Boom. Okay. Right down here. 53, 54, and 55. Now, if you have to get your single bundles, okay, so 18 all the way to 40, alright? And then for 613, 20 through 30 is here. So you have all your closures and your frontals to match. And of course, you can get 24 hours at the 6708 Harford Road location. Alright.
He rolled for that, baby.
It's where our money going. It's where our money going. A lot of y'all would think that that's, entrepreneurship and such. Did Black people make them weaves? You getting it from, Black manufacturers, or is it still coming from the same manufacturers, Asia or wherever? Women are quite unique when it comes to this aspect of going to a vending machine and getting some hair or lashes out of it to put on your body. Bugs, germs, the manufacturer, just to be so trusting with all these things that hurt you in the long run. Rip your hair out, give you bugs in your eyes like conjunctivitis, give you a whole different personality out of a vending machine. Open 24 hours. It's a vending machine outside, like the legs of the sisterhood. I don't see no ethnic type hair in the vending machines. No, a small percentage of Black women who will buy their own texture hair to give it more length or volume or whatever the case may be. But What y'all think about the vending machines with the hair and the lashes? The health aspect of it. You know, some of y'all be looking like it's just plastic on your head. If nobody's told you. Shiny plastic.
Shame. Shame.
It's just getting out of control. Y'all care more about that. That's what I'm talking about, out of control. You can do what the hell you want, but when you care more about that than your children, that's a problem. It's a problem. Y'all need help. So family members, if you have relatives that are more concerned about things like this, you might want to get them some help. Save these children. It's a whole combination of shit. Like, stop letting people destroy these children. And we know, we see it. We're around them. We coddle it. We pander it. And the children get hurt. And it's like, I knew she was going to lose them children. I knew she was going to do this. We still in this mode. We can't say nothing, right? Because a lot of us have gone through some shit, being stripped from our homes, being molested, being put in situations that we should not have been as children. And we just continue in the cycle. We see it. Nobody say nothing. And then we cry when it happens. We find out something's happened. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, you didn't. Because we selfish. We don't want to step in because possibly if you have to step in, you might have to become responsible for that said child. Right? Because most of us CPS, like, we don't want the children to go into foster care. So, you know, we're not as welcoming. We're not a community in a neighborhood like that anymore. Grandparents are saying, I don't want them kids. Let them go into the system. It's a different time. I live my life. She ain't take care of kids. I ain't stepping in to do that. Nah, generations back, there was no question. I think I got just one last one for y'all. Take your roll back. Y'all see the last dynamic, what I had, attention from the old lady screaming at everybody, paying attention to your kids. Because they're growing up and they're going to be adults. And we're doing them such an injustice by not teaching them and modeling behavior too. Can't just teach them, you got to model it. I am mother.
You shifted from using the term mother to birthing people.
Black birthing people. Black birthing people. Black and indigenous birthing people.
Is the administration's official policy to replace the term woman with birthing people?
I was a little taken back when I just read it and saw it, that the term mother was gone in spots and it was replaced with birthing people.
Again, if we're trying to be precise in the language that's used.
Mom's a pretty good word.
Everything that's worth living and dying for is under attack right now.
This environment that has been created and corrupted and manipulated does not respect women, does not respect children, does not respect men. It cares nothing for family. If that is the society that we want to live in, then we need to see how crazy we are. Really. The world is in the condition that it is in because of the disrespect of the woman. There's so much that we place around her because, as we are also taught, that when you teach a man, you are teaching an individual. When you teach a woman, you are teaching a nation. Every prophet came from the womb of a woman. Every intelligent, strong, powerful man and woman came from the womb of a woman. So that's why they have to attack mother and remove father, because before you can get to her, you have to get through him. Every wise nation has security. And the man is supposed to be that security. Can a woman secure too? Of course. Are there female warriors? Absolutely. However, because of her value, because a whole nation comes out of her, so you must be protected. And the man having that essential position by nature. So someone who knows that about you will do their best to make sure you are removed, because there is a standard of conditioning that has to take place. Man, woman, child. If I want to get to that, I have to remove your protector, because he is watching to make sure that everything that goes on in this environment is safe and secure. That's why they have to attack masculinity, because they know, damn, if there's real men around here, we can't really do what we want to do. And if there are real women, we for damn sure can't do what we want to do, because she's going to protect that child, he's going to protect that woman, and they both are going to protect society.
That was powerful. I don't know about y'all. That was powerful for me. Just the importance of us both. I think the modern day society, the 1% who run everything, they've done their job. They have done their job. Because I could literally be here every day to show you the shit, the shame, the shameful behavior. Our children, foster care systems, we throw them away, throw them in the trash. They made provisions to the point where we can stick them in a box at the fire department. So, they did their job. Y'all don't honor the term mother. Y'all don't honor the role, so they're gonna strip it away. Black birthing persons. Black birthing persons. They said indigenous and they said Hispanic. So white mothers still exist. They didn't include that. Y'all need to step up. Take your role back. Find some honor in it. It's your legacy. If we're taught, we teach nations, and it's real. It's really real, right? Because if a man is a warrior, he's not around the children as much as we are. So it's our responsibility. And we have been for years want to push it off to them. Here, 50-50, you come home here, take this baby. You. Honor that shit. When you decide to be a mother, honor that. Find happiness within that. Find purpose in it. And those sad, depressing days will fucking go away. I don't think, you guys do it for like a baby doll, like it's a puppy and shit. It's not okay. Because we are here now. We're here now. We're here now. Y'all see what's going on in our society. We're not. I'm going to end it on that. I am mother. And I try to live true to that. And it's something from very young, I've wanted to be, and I wanted to be honorable in doing it. So hopefully you can reflect on yourself and your own behavior. Because like I said, it's us. It's us. In order for them to do better, we have to do better. And I'm going to leave it at that. Same Sunday. I'll be back next week. I'm going to show a little love, bring a little shame.
Salute to you, Mrs. Salute to you. This was an amazing conversation and episode as usual.
Thank you.
The only thing I would end with my final thoughts is that, like he said, women, they birth nations, and everybody would agree to that. Mm-hmm. The other side of that is men kill other men, women kill societies. Mm-hmm. And this is why you're sitting right here doing what you're doing, because if the women continue to allow their children to grow up as gutter snipes, the society as we know it will fall. Community, family, and everything within. So the same way you accept the kudos when someone says, women birth nations, and you go, yeah, that's right, we birth nations. Remember, you kill societies too. A society can rise no higher than the moral standards of its women. And if their moral standards is standing on the couch and shaking their ass, look at society. Mm-hmm. This was an amazing
and I appreciate that. And I respect that. I take that, and I'm going to, continue to reflect on that and hold myself accountable, every day, because my children watch me every day. It's not one day that they don't mimic us and our behaviors. And I cannot be the only parent that's reflective of that. Like, they're mini us's, you know what I mean? So do better at behaving around them, at modeling, particular behaviors, being able to communicate with another person. Oh man, I hope you guys got a little reflection out of what I showed today. I can show so much dysfunction and trauma and the effects of the same repeated trauma. Oh my goodness. I could be here all day. So it's happening. Everybody is not a good mother. Everybody is not a good woman. And that's what I'm focusing on. We talk enough about the men. I gave them some love today. And I got some love for y'all right now. I think Black men need to take time and heal themselves. Women don't think that, you guys have had traumas and events in your lives that caused you to be who you are, and behave in a certain way. So, invest time in you. Be purposeful in who you are and what you want. And the right woman will come. She will possibly come for you. But, take care of yourself. Again, same thing with the women, stay up with the doctors and find some time for you. Healing brothers, there's spaces for you because there's a lot of brothers getting together trying to find some healing. Where's that? And I'm going to show y'all. Just because you don't see it, sisters, they out here trying to heal. They out here trying to heal too. Heal yourself and make yourself better for somebody else, if not for yourself. So I can show a lot of that too. Daddies all day getting love with the kids, being present. It's so much. So I'm going to keep bringing these views and some reflection to what's going on. Hopefully we can get our communities and our neighborhoods back to some normalcy of kindness and community and pushing forward in a positive manner. Oh man. So anybody jumping on board, feel free. We're here, Harvest Tribe Media Group at gmail.com. If you want to discuss anything or reach out about anything, we appreciate everybody popping in. Deaf Mage, love, appreciate you. Stay away from them scam spaces, bro. They lying to you. They just want your money. I love y'all. Absolutely, yeah. You guys watch out for all those scams because they getting everybody. Lady Navoa, Red Lipstick Vibes, AR, the World Class, Jenny, Hubby, Lucky is in the building. Shout out to everybody. Trash Can Waves, Knowledge and Relationships. Yeah, my brother AR, appreciate y'all. But we gonna go home. Get ready for the week. Mr. Hall was in the building as well. I appreciate you. Yes, everybody watching on a rewatch, please drop a comment if you like. Got any questions, you want to add on, it's all appreciated. I see y'all next Sunday, and be kind to someone besides yourself. Peace.
Everything in creation and in physical form has its own fundamental resonant frequencies. Everything in creation and in physical form has its own fundamental resonant frequencies.